Yamo Yambi Raye. Exactly 19 minutes after 7. I heard Kessben at 93.3. Kessben television here live and there. I know pays you at Tenase. Amansan Ntie and at your day April. Kwabena non Kron Abebo. Ayo Mike Ghana and Mu Ensem. And I hear you a passo. Ya better and say Konyine Besipa Ahahain. And I don't pay one me and a shamading at the Kwabena Owusu Dankwa na and some Ahudo Ewo Yami Ayadma Dr. Equia Amwakom ono a deputy spokesperson Edema Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia ono ebepiem ewo fidiem habekaya Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia eko entoabo anase obontoa ewo Asante Mantem hebedin komo ede afa ho ebedin komo generally ede afa Ghana ho ebedin komo de afa the New Patriotic Party ho ebedin komo ede afa prime minister ebaso nyame aduma na wotwemi enu pepepe senne ena mpanyifo koto aba na omoyi di obetu franka ede ama the New Patriotic Party going forward in the 2028 general elections ya eno ebebaso no ebedi enkomo ede afa ho ewa ha yakase dwumadie ni nyina no the chief executive producer Malam Yaya wono ena wahyehyɛ yɛde brɛmo kɔpensa no nkro bɛbɔ no de ensɛm ahodom ena ɛwɔ hɔ a yɛba na afei yabedi ɛho enkomo menu mie no nyina na yɛka bom na yɛde dwumadie no ama no ayɛ fɛ enti message no wobɛtumi ɛde afa 0551 599 933 0551 599 933 yensa ebeka na yakenkan enso ewo kasafide su sede edi adwuma pepepe enso ewo ha eni nyina nka mom na afe yenni dwuma no mano enye fe yenko na afe news ba komienu bi ewo ho no yenfa ntudwa na afe yentoa so enkomotwetwe no enso ewo ha na yenni eho enkomo enso ewo ha na de ababeto dwanie mame enhyase enfamfree owura Joe Gatti, called the New Patriotic Party, or Penipa, about ministerial positions, Waholu be Wamra, na Omampene Kofo, Ewoho, any the Keka home. Na Ene, Ora, your friend said Joe Gatti, wano actual krata, Eddie Akoma, the New Patriotic Party. Nina Efa, Abatuo, and into a bar. 5 candidates are one more agena, set Yento Aba and Famono. Wamo ni subanya wamo dan na die ena opening ede nano enso aba abetumu ebie na sei ena owura your friend say Joe Gatti ede atudwa eti odi to so ne se fia sebio mu acheche no entimi enyina a house divided against itself cannot stand na the order kanyina ne se mampoto kakra. Or say in the coming days, the new NPP will be going for an election to elect the flag bearer for our party for the next general elections. The campaign has been ongoing for some time, and to a large extent, it has taken the course such campaigns usually take. Unfortunately, there is a growing tendency for insult, personal attacks, and character assassination being introduced into the campaign by some overly eager supporters of the various candidates. We must each pose to ourselves a simple question. The simple question that must be posed is, which of our candidates can lead a divided party to win an election? As was said in Matthew chapter 12 verse 25, a house divided against itself cannot stand. So this must stop. We must stop the politics of insult and divisiveness. We must be each other's keeper and remind ourselves of the admonition of President Ronald Reagan when he said famously, the 11th commandment is, thou shalt not speak ill of any fellow Republican. So translated to Ghana. Or say, if we continue to destroy the character of our leaders, how can we convince the people of Ghana that our candidate is ready to lead? The time has come for each of us to embark upon some introspection and ask ourselves whether, by our words and actions, we are destroying the party or making it stronger. It is not everything that can be said that needs to be said. As we go around pointing fingers at others, let us remember that others are also pointing fingers at us, and that your own other fingers are pointing at yourself. Who is perfect? None. but God. Let there be peace, and may the best person emerge the flag bearer. Let us always remember that a house divided against itself cannot stand. It was written from Esikado. We aye ora jogate. The okanyina and say enei efia sorry tia no ho no anase efie mu acheche no entimi enyina na ose enche na New Patriotic Party ekwa akoto aba na omoye obi obetu franka ede amafat party no general elections a eda yanimu no na ose campaign no ekoso ebreno brano na de wahunu ene se enei ebi afakwa bi so edi amanfo atem ena ebi so sabiom womo ede efi eforefore amanfo ho ese amanfo gu amanfo ho efim no se wei aba abeka campaign ho a ama eye party supporters anase eye candidate supporters no womo fa ho ene na ebesie ena omo gusu a omo eyesa no se o se ebuse ho asembisa ba akopɛ question na wosa yebuse ho no ese se candidate modern na yebeto aba ayi no se won konkotu franka emfama New Patriotic Party no obetimi edi sebio efia enka enima na se party mu acheche mu akodi nkunim anam wose sanema we yejai na yejai party anase politics a ye de attendidiem ene papa mu ede eba no yenhwe se yebehwe obia anase yebe each other skipper said the okano no na said the omanpeni Ronald Reagan wono eka se eye emnansem etosuba dubako ene se hwe ene wanka bone amfa o party ni ho eno odigina homa Republicans no o se yegusu a yese amanfo na yese ye leaders no yebeden akwa ka kire Ghana for se womo ento abam emfa emma ye party ni anase de yi no na waya krado so obedi kan anase obedi anim na wapretumi ede ama party no o se emre na ba se wo se ye nyina ye bu nkompo na afe ye hwe se ensem na ye kan ni yo na ye yo no se party no anase emma party no ejina abrane o se bibia ye bia no ye nkan hu se ne ekwa anase wo do se church amanfo so no kai wo amanfo so de nsa church so na wa akra no won saba ko na de akira amanfo nan na aka no enso ekire wo so enti yenyai na obia enye se bipe ginyankopon ko a na omo ema sondwe na afei omo nkoyi nipa wo se fata so tu franka ede ema party no na bio womo enkai hunu se efia esority an ho no entimi enyina wei eye owura Joe Gatti ensama wode atu edwa no enso eno no na afei ma yenkoi na yenhwe other issues a eno enso ewo ho the vice president eye Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman wono so ede ensem ede atudwa se enei wo hwe se ene private sector reforms ya eba so no womo enhwe se bibia nso ebetimi akoso ede amomo we efa Ghana public transportation sector said the ensema hodo aba enei edu anwumre na amanfo kofia ka ho edene den edu anapa na oba eno so ho den we eye enkite ho a wone eye transport operators enyaye ena ode etu omanim se aban anyim enema ene ohawa hodo a womo ekomu na ene reforms ba no mo hwe na bibia enso entimi enko nanim enso emfa emma ama Ghana we eyensama Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman enso ede atudwa na yanko eye LGBTQ+ ensensem ya eba ebetodwa ya enei otia the Minister of Education eba abonten ede nano ebetumbi ma background no kakra ni nyina efa eye SHS manual, teachers manual, physical education and health manual, second year. Na enumu ene kopie na empanyifo echirem sedie nyakopon ebo ade sedie nipa ye describe na say ye define nipa ye chese de nipa tia sen ena ye ka no ye ka oba ni akabema na yaka de opese oye ni mienu nyina na no ebepie mu no ena mpanyifo titru Reverend Ntimfojo wono ena peja so mu dendende pa se womo enam kwatikwan so afa gayism ene lesbianism ene de ensem frata ene sebi yamane ene de ka ho no ebo ebra no aba bewura yenwumesu mpese omo edetete yenkwada no nsem ne baaye no na kapani pa ono ewo honom owura obu abisa professor obu abisa eba bonten ebe pa cho se bo hu no manhu oversight na no the minister of education enso eba bonten edi ebetudwa se ade no kura no yehyehyeye in 2024 ntinka opesen ko politics pa enka obeka se nyena penso ena ebaye na ensemi ebetodwa ena the Center for Democratic Movement CDM womonso asore se aha debi the honorable minister of education eka no debi aha ensem no motiase a enyeyi ni nyina ene sen womose ni dwumadi a wodie no ukọ manual nanim a ne signature ewo honum ti okase sebi eye ade omhyehyɛ no 2024 a eye den ena ono ena ne signature ebɛhyɛ ase na kyese wenya adaje enkenkan enema no ansa na ɔde ne signature ɛhyɛ mo kasa ya akra mebi ekotia sebi eye ne som a wosom sɛ ne som no etia sa enema no nti so ɔyɛ hwehan na sɛ ɔmasa enema no etimi ɛbɛhyɛ nwoma no mu dia na ɔmo so ɛwɔ nsamisa ɛwɔ sɛ wɔ mo ebusa no we ɛyɛ ensɛm a ɛyɛ CDM fo no enso edi ebetu edwam enso ɛwɔ hɔ sɛ ɔmo ɛse sɛ nei sɛ yɛpɛsɛ yetimi ede adwumofan ene sebi nokredie ene enema eba eboa ma amanfo nya gidie ewo amanyosem ne amanyefo mu a ɔsɛ saa nneɛma no wɔn agyae akyire wei ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɛyɛ CDM fo enso ede abetu dwam ede ɛfa enano ɛyɛ LGBTQ nsɛm a ɛkɔpie mu ɛwɔ teachers manual ɛwɔ SHS2 physical education and health ɛyɛ teachers manual no emu ɛno ɛho nsɛm ɛna CDM fo enso akukyire biem ya wɔn ɛde aba ɛnɛ anɔpɛ ma yɛntoa so na yɛnhwɛ nsɛm a Professor Edu Jamfi wɔno enso ɛde nsɛm bi ɛde atudwa na yɛbɛkenkan ɔno raise some fundamental questions about the credibility and truthfulness of Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia na papa no atwotwo nsɛm ahodo bebree do ɔno ɛna watworo deɛ besenka yɛwurawura mu kakra na sɛ yɛdoso mu kakra na yɛhwɛ nsɛm a ɔpani yɛ a yɛfrɛ no sɛ Edubuahin ɛde atudwa ɛde ɛfa Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia enso ɛho no na yɛka ɛho nsɛm ha deɛ ɔka nyina no sɛ ɛnano na between 2013 2016 thereabout Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia na de wogyina so kɛseɛ paa wɔde ɛyɛ ne campaign ɛde ma Nana Dankwa Ekufuado ɛne n'aban no ɛyɛ sɛ economy no ɛno ɛho nsɛm tutum ɛna na ɛyɛ Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia ɛka ɛde fa ho na obusa sɛ saa mmere yi a yɛkasa yi saa nneɛma no ahyefte anam mpɛsɛ nka me puto kakra nneɛma a wɔde atudwa ɛde ɛfa Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia enso ɛho no na yɛnhwɛ sɛdeɛ ɔka no enso pɛpɛɛpɛ na deɛ ɛtie nie wɔsan erezi issues about Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia no enso ankasa ɛfa ɛyɛ nsɛm a ɔkɔkan ɛwɔ Northern Region ɛfa sɛ ɛnɛyi that is 2024 campaign era no enso nsɛm a ɔkɔkaeɛ enso ɛde ɛfa sɛ ɛnɛyi sɛ Ghanafoɔ ɛkɔto aba ɛde ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na kyerɛ sɛ ɔhwɛ dynamics na ɛne sɛdeɛ ɛnɛɛma te a sɛ yɛsan kɔto aba bio enso ɛde ɛfa anasɛ kɔyi granted kɔyi ɔmampanin abedi ɔman Ghana anim a na ɔhwɛ dynamics na sɛ ɛntimi ɛnsan ɛnkɔ Northern Region bio enti nkɛbɛyɛ a nka Ghanafoɔ ɛnto aba ɛma no se ɛdeɛn ɛna asesa enso ɛde afa nsɛm na ɔkɔtwerɛ no na kyɛ sɛ ɛno nso nsɛmbisa enso ɛwɔ hɔ na yɛbɛhwɛ ɛho nsɛm enso ɛwɔ ha na yɛde ɛno ɛho nsɛm enso ɛde abrɛmu enso ɛwɔ ha kyerɛkyerɛ a ɛtira ɔde to so ɛyɛ who leads the MPP Professor Edu Jamfi ɛna obusa saa nsɛm yi mɛkɔ ne nsɛm no mu ankasa na yɛhwɛ sɛdeɛ ɔde atu dwa no na yaka ɔtwerɛ articles ahodoɔ na deɛ di kan essay principles consistency and burden of others own words say principles consistency and burden of others own words na kyerɛ sɛ onipa wankasa wo nsɛm a wokaeɛ no sɛ wobɛkɔ so a na wagyina mu na wakasa nsɛm no anaasɛ sɛ bio principles bɛn ɛna ɛwɔ ho ɔsɛ one of the most important currencies in democracy leadership is credibility over time. Political actors are not judged only by what they say today, but by whether their current positions are internally consistent with the previous declared principles. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia built a strong reputation as a principle-driven political actor, particularly between 2014 and 16, when he positioned himself as a critic of fiscal indiscipline, economic mismanagement, and weak governance structure. Those positions were not casual remarks. They were framed as moral and economic absolutes. The critical question now is not whether circumstances have changed. Circumstances always do. The real question is this. Has Dr. Bawumia offered a clear, intellectually honest framework explaining why the standards he once championed no longer apply and why he should now be judged by a different metrics? Ɛno ɛyɛ nsɛm a na kyerɛ sɛ ɔde ɛtu edwa ɛnso ɛde afa ho. Na ɛno yɛbɛ critique na yɛahwɛ ho nsɛm ɛnso ɛwɔ ha. Ti principles no aka ho nsɛm ɔsan ka ethnic arithmetic, electoral logic, and the question of motivation or raise issues about that. And also yebe a critique ɛwɔ hɔ no. What's a critical question is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia now rejecting his own earlier electoral analysis as and if so, on what empirical basis? We the Oka at the afase 2024 no said the womo echo to aba na somewhere omobontoa okoka se aba ye to aba no e de ma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na kyese yensan ensan emma North Hobio eno so ye ba we nye benya daje na yedi enkomo ewo ho. 3. Article 3 also the silence on the economy and the problems of campaign narratives. And also oba yebenya daje na yakaba yenko the key question or say if the economy was the foundation of Dr. Bawumia's credibility, why is it no longer the centerpiece of its message? And also yebenya daje. Article 4 the Zongo Northern and Muslim vote promise versus performance. And also okasa FI say ene na before koto aba amano no enti na ewo se womo ehwe se ofri Zongo no ye north na oye Muslim nti kombejina so ato according to Professor Edu Jamfidie was say sa vote na omo ekoto ye no performance no does not resonate with said the Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia eka nsem no eno so obusa critical question was what explains the failure of the promised voting bloc to materialize? Were the assumptions about identity-based voting flawed, or was the organizational mechanism machinery insufficient to convert identity into turnout? And no, these are some questions. Professor Edu Jamfi Ereziye, Bereka kase yeba kritiki sa ensemno na yahwe na enei se ohwe ye political arena asesa ye dynamism no asesa ka enya sa for the first time in the history of Ghana ka yanto aba enyo mampani bi mfiri so na eche yasa akoto aba asa de mampani kro na asan aba based on Ghana for said ye yehunu omampani no nti that is one assertion asesa Gen Z for now no they don't look at where you are coming from, they look at what you can do for them. E de ben na wo obetimi aye e de ama. That's what they look at. Nti say nipa no say let's put it in a scenario ne yenhwe say nipa no ya ekoto abama say nipa no free Ashanti region so funu bunu mamu so free henti akoto abama obi no free ho na de oba ne hu so a competent enough obetimi de Ghana akọ promised land na yebeka se nipa ne free ho nti ensan akoto abama na then how do we reason as human beings? How do we reason? You hear the competence of the people. Yes, we shouldn't vote on tribal lands, though sometimes they play, but the most important thing now, nipa sabi ye ko yanim e wo se yehwe ene se nipa na oba na is he competent enough se obetimi ato era se obetimi e de Ghana akodum pempenso a e wo se odura yedura na. That's the big question we should ask. Na yehu ne saa na se sabi yen yadwemu da ho ne yehu saa somesi na oba no betimi aboa am ye de akọ promised land na se ebeja no ho ni akọfo obi ni akasa because of tribal lands and as religious lines yen ya nipa kro na yen kofa de ontimi moaye na eto ginyana. That's the big question we are asking. Na ya ne aye economy ni honen kro ne ba na kanina na wo ye na ka kan economy no ho asem sisi on ka economy ho asem ebia na ne message no muntie ni yi mutie message ni ya ka me hu say he delves so deep into the economy as well. And secondly krano say okase o the economy na ebo na chia muntie de na Dankwa Akufo-Addo kan some time ago said the bus stops with him wono na ye president. So sometimes when you want to skew something in favor of something, not be a free certain things you are supposed to look at. So these are some few things I'll talk about. Yenimre, into you, let me hold it there. Na mema doctor, ekuya amwako, akwaba.
Oh, minya.
Doc.
Enya.
Na boko die.
Boko de nya boko, ma brankasa.
Wabre.
Social minimums mean say, girl, you may die at ye.
No cray.
But once all the AGC when you so na motivation a little it's outside of yourself.
Okay.
You don't know where you get the fuel from
of
to
course,
continue.
Of course.
Into Yeguso. And Ranaju and Raya Kwa probably side be real when share so.
Okay.
I mean chia share so for na mindo massive first. Omoji FFF so.
That's right.
Propaganda omuti ye nyina omunya abotre tena asem ye kire omunyina mu ye wie obia se nti shaye so for edamase.
That's right.
Enim se mo ma ye sense form da. Mo chairman Jokada waka baby nso ye be chia na busuanfo anope se nyame mfa ne kransi.
That's right.
E start free new edu bia se ne call adansi asokwa and I eba for me na ansa ne even share so nti no mato aso ba me de be ba krom ha de o se me ba ha.
Of course. Very important. Right. Very important. Me answer conversation I say first let's Ghana outlook first. And say narrow down emra mo primaries na eba so no ho. 1 year now since MPP a free abemo and MPP NDC beso abainemo. I mean to you views about the year that is passed, about the party abemo and how you see them and how they are faring.
Well, on say I didn't do no credit infant baby Ghana for eben hu ne se via NDC for ne buy no dollar semunimu aye emu ago kakra mo. And NDC for no propaganda machine we are very effective. So even though say by the time I hand you over no, now a lot of the measures were already in place for economic recovery. Okay, IMF reports from 2024. The projections were good. Debt to GDP now no more the boy China. Now it had reduced from some 75 to about 61, projected to hit the 41 that they've hit now as of the ending of 2024 when we were handing over. So it's clear, say, we handed over an economy that had been through crisis, but indeed was recovering. But they are lucky is what I want to call it. They've inherited all that goodwill. Because they and we can say that there have been some improvements. But dollar and especially in the way that they are doing it when it's not sustainable, it brings other problems. Into the dollar is low, inflation is low, but people are still complaining, saying because they are sterilizing. Essentially, they are removing so much cash from the system. Exactly. To create some artificial stability.
Say artificial, and yes, something that is inorganic.
No, to the level at which they've pushed it. Say we were on a path to recovery. In the slowly would have happened, but their political party, so they were looking for propaganda value. So they've hastened some of the things. Gold board losses in it is an inherited project. I know the year you some media people could try and use files for kind of more be an a projects are when Ghana assisted them year day and year Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia say into your gold and Fanya Reserve. It started 2022. But at that time, quite a year first year it was slow. So we were not incurring as much losses. Now but in 9 months, opese gold now what now or export here. That's where you incur losses because you incur losses when you are buying it, you incur losses when you are trading it. Hence, almost over $200 million. So that's what I mean by artificial. Or more pushing their money so that they can get propaganda value, which I cannot fault them too much for. What I can fault them very much for, more campaign promises almost same people before you are chrome for. 133 24-hour economy obi abenya adwuma obi so mo sa ase a kire sen no obi antemi nchim na utimi ye oba na utimi ye bema na obi so mo aye omo beye wo una wabon unti ase hwan because we knew that it was a facade untimi ma broni be ka say demand no outpace nipa no hia baby you have to create demand no and
for what you're doing
exactly
but they almost say still they will implement it and they the body that is more in charge of the 24-hour economy ababontin say and they almost shenema and it will come into
flagship projects
free
SHS. By this time, no more started. Na first batch go school. And na era Mahama, or 4 years pay. A quine and wasa, what kind budget too. We share them who any serious commitments to 24-hour economy. On lip service no more. But yeah, politicians I kind budget today. And I feel when so me acquire sign, we will not see any serious commitments because this kind of idea. And if you have not committed sika to it, you cannot expect any magic to fall out of the air. And the whole process, it cannot be an effective policy. Korea, London, near there. London, yes, so much 24-hour economy, metro T-shirts, so 24-hour economy, and Sun AC. No, it was natural. Demand, now for 4 years, all around. The demand was there. Until create a shift system to meet that demand. Now, so won't create that demand. Now, say changing on 24 hours. I say, state offices, say all government institutions. Until I can buy a KMA, some KHM, and you see a chimney and sound. What for Nipano 2 folds a become just will be called first one now. That new set of Nipana Fanako second one. That new set of Nipanako third one. But Niama no more with the economy, no, and the extra pressure they are putting on the city, it's also affecting them in other ways. What share buying revenue so cry about from? Because Coco na nka the beton they are $1 kai krano, and also about from. So they are cash strapped in so. Until for na ya form kra untimi ntu omoka nti e better no akofa extra 2 sets so it's a facade. I can sit here and confidently tell you say me ye be more at the end of the 2028 but e be do he babet na when we say omo ntimi
and I say can see say
I can preempt that they don't have the money to fund it even in the government sector. Now hospital cry 24-hour economy ne koso dada no. Nurses now our form runtimintia. So how are you going to roll it out to the rest of the government institutions? How are you going to stimulate private sector to do it? 24-hour economy they put it in omo policy documents now and also it was different from promises making but let me be charitable to them and use their policy documents. Almost some mobile private security to enable 20 when we say BBC my catch was a budget they haven't made any provision, meaning this year too most likely is not going to happen. Almost some mobile time of use tariff and they here because anyone can existing companies ne say okay in Tianajo we are benefiting more and let's see if that would have triggered some extra demand. Time of use tariff nothing is there. In fact electricity tariffs akosoro so chese ya amfa. So looking at it structurally and in their second term mean who say
now back to the economy. Also a better economic economy. Now most Ghanaians bonabaso say at least for the economy, wetimi abwa ama aye sustainable. Microeconomy no aye. Nti most Ghanaians are born abaso. What do you say to that?
Me on my buying abaso. I be drew almost so I will not want to do too much politicking with it. But yen for more months I'm saying Bank of Ghana governor so esiama or ye party be party na say or chere asie de ntia inflation na yesa de ntia acid na yesa minyanka mbebo video no but another news was so asem o kai ni say domestic gold purchase program no gold for reserve no and na de nti gold for reserve me pa cho mo de ana.
So I will give it back to the gold. It's
as simple as that. Nti papa now give it back to gold for reserve no obi si ofri baby nti yento ne ntwene asem we what be that Ghana for ena asante for ye nyina ye asante for me kumase ha ne tete me asante kotokoba na me papa eye kotoko see you me can okay yeah me can me call hilltop class 1 you see ma me Jesse say blue say den so me so yes inti me nemo na atena ha ya me wie medical school na me konkai me nim yesu ne ban ye ban ene kwan a ye ne obi a atena je obeboa ye na ye hwe inti enya afei ne ebetena ho ama obi atomfu tregu ye ni so ama ade pa bi a ye nya aba kroma no ahwere yen ndc fo ne kwa besere yen yes because omuno omotenchen no omunim more what happened and some of them are even more honest say me who post be she's more original minister cho Facebook mespe no menkan but I saw that was the only day he had been honest omotenchen de omun hu de course but yen because of certain circumstances yen timi mbie niama bi so say omukra nim say papa no eba ne nyansa ene ne nimde a ede bu oman a it is unmatched nti MPP yenya ade a e wo se ye cherish na ye hye ne tidom na otimi ba na Ghana impuntuo ba because I heard me ba na me tese wo kan ade how is he running away from the economy NDC for pay 2 May 2024 omo kan sem fa dokema omo ba mi aho papa omo kan sem papa propaganda ni bi na wo kan because how do you remove digitization from the economy? We're in the 4th industrial revolution. And what is the 4th industrial revolution about? Digitization.
Okay.
Inti omo sheda omunim no kre no but omunim so omo kan sa ebeton kofo team into kwaya no be as he has moved away from it just said the whole can say be o about won't you don't understand or you are trying to be mischievous or you are plain dishonest because they are linked see so share broche and now all around the world top grossing companies top 10 8 IT companies.
8 of them.
More than 8. About 80% will be in the IT space. Of course, still oil near there no. But so many of them, Facebook is valued at almost so many billions of dollars. Apple phone is the first company to reach $1 trillion valuation. It's tech. Until you refusing to see the linkage between technology and the economy, no.
There's a problem.
I will leave it there. Me need to send this for.
Anyway, you won't be a propagandist.
I won't be a propagandist, okay. But I'm just asking, say, yenye discerning, yenfa no krento baby and no krewo. Say MPP mo akonya na abeto na adehye epre. And omunim so mo de ball ne to form. Na ye agro no about what it should be about because president ni ye hwehwe sebi wenye akamfo panyi na ye hwehwe na enye sebi Christopher asori panyi na ye hwehwe obi obeba bebu oman ni so nyina oman that is involved several ethnic groups and enye se oba be moderate ethnic problems obebu oman no you are coming to create a system edi mpuntu ebeba sa transportation issues here abebe say getting to the end of his tenure no who one of that time now feel flag bearer okasa e kokakra into oyere ne homa ye the electric buses be by. And I was just watching the video this morning at YouTube before I replay at that time when he was talking about the initiative. So it will reduce cost, and baby akone kono we have to invest heavily in EV buses because a bit cheaper on my phone, a bit cheaper on the country, maintenance is lower, blah blah. And utimi ya near the buses be by. And this if one buy sanka enyanka or map a baby diego and I sanka say a see why because it's see what but now that there are transportation problems no to me the buses ne esim into way at 2020.
That's a big question. You're 23. You have a campaign now, so but me you have more elections now, so but me kind messages no kakra na. I'll come back to you. Na yenhwem. We say okay. Befi ewo Bantama or say Honorable Jogati has spoken as a true patriot, and these are the old folks who still have the MPP at heart. But come what may, Dr. Bawumia will lead Ghana as president in 2028. Regards to Honorable Asensu Boakye MP. From teacher constitution, we are more saying, why is the NDC still shifting blame to MPP when they are the ones in government? It seems like propaganda is their strategy for ruling Ghana. Things are not looking good, but I think some NDC supporters are silently regretting their votes. The economy is struggling and corruption is rampant. They keep talking about city stabilization, but prices keep soaring daily. Greetings to Honorable Mavis in Cancer Bwedu and Honorable Dr. Oseya Educhum. We say good morning, KOD. I'm Okain from Bantama in the Senate West District. If drivers are deliberately doing this, this is the best opportunity to improve public transport. We have given these GPRTU and their assigns too much power in Ghana, and it's not helping anyone. Governments are even scared of introducing more buses just because they are scared of collapsing their businesses and also losing elections. But these guys don't really care. They don't reciprocate these gestures from government. They are always cheating and taking advantage of vulnerable passengers. Bring in more buses, hire these drivers and mates who wants to learn and decongest our cities and make transportation more organized and streamlined. Ken is going to win this election, inshallah. All right, that is your message. At this particular moment, the only savior in Ghana is Dr. Bawumia, because how John Mahama and his NDC are ruling Ghana with his colonial ideas. John Mahama himself knows that when it comes to ideas, he comes nowhere near Bawumia. Give him a chance to save our dear country for us and our children yet to born. Good morning, brother Kofi Fofi, Germany, Mainz Castel, and Ode Ebreyen. Benji Wonfensi Seriasi, greetings to Honorable Wisdom Ose Boama MCE. Nowadays, we are enjoying good governance. When you go to the market, you get, no matter how much money you have, you can get something small to buy. Petrol prices are also reducing. We pray that it remains for a longer time. All right. That's Lawrence Bacheke Buche, also known as Buche, as a new Asorin Kwanta near Unity Oil Filling Station. Now that LGBTQ plus related concepts have been added to our curriculum for our children to learn, it signals government's unpreparedness and a lack of interest in criminalizing the alien culture. Extremely sad that after campaigning to make LGBTQ plus unlawful, you win power and now you make it lawful by adding it into the curricula of our children. If Brian Champon becomes president of Ghana, this LGBTQ plus matter will not have a place in our national discourse. We need him to save our culture and identity from foreign infiltration. Happy and prosperous New Year to Wafa Alex and his wife at Asenua Station. Good morning, KOD. President Mahama and his NDC have us when it comes to Galamsey fight, 24-hour economy, LGBTQ. They used the LGBTQ against the previous government and told us that when they come to power, they will sign the bill. Now the bill is nowhere to be found in Parliament. Kennedy Japan said that over his dead body that he will contest for presidency. Now he's contesting for the flag bearership. Tell Professor Edu Jemfi to give us a break and let us think. Delegates have promised to give Dr. Bawumia 80% of votes from Bright, Takwa, ɛna ɔde wei nso ɛde abrɛn wei as a good morning Cody. Instead of the house marketing the various candidates in a decorous manner, we are instead telling the whole world there is no sensible person to lead a party. Why is this? How to win elections from Ononkwa New Edubiase. Say, my warm regards to your cherished viewers. I really love the speech from Honorable Jogati. Looking at the way some TV station hosts and panel members attack and run down a particular candidate, then I ask myself, will there be unity after the election? In fact, very soon, some of us will join the NDC. Hey, sir. Dr. Siosreo. Anyway, I'm picking two penafe Mensambra. Golden Boy and Nas from Mamponte. Good morning, Claudia. Let me greet Ken, the National Health Insurance Director, Mamponte Kwabena is. The Create, Loot and Share Party, NPP. They are not serious at all. You see, the LGBTQ was highly supported by the NPP government. I mean the previous government. And it is true that Akufo-Addo refused to sign the LGBTQ bill. He totally failed to sign it. And now the MPP MPs, PCs turned back to blame the NDC government. Now you see the hypocrisy of the MPP communicators and their so-called serial callers. Let them stop this noise and propaganda because Ghanaians know they are incompetent. Yes, okay. Samra, Dr. Honafe, yen zoomi in the
LGBT. I didn't even want to say it.
You don't want to say
it. I didn't want to, but it's not true that you see, we are a democratic party. MPP and party adhere to trust them and entity. Yenye coup government the xenophobia. We follow we try to follow the rule of law to the latter. Until when the bill was in Parliament, the people sent it to court. There were 3 cases in the Supreme Court pending. So the president, being a human rights lawyer and a very learned lawyer at that point, he could not, in good conscience, have signed it till those cases terminated.
Okay.
Now, in any case, some of them are 1 year. Those who were up and down, jumping, hopping from one place to another on this LGBT. What is what Maka wants in you? So who is being dishonest and hypocritical? After you've smuggled it into the curriculum. You see, when I read it, I could not believe my eyes. Trying to redefine the meaning of gender. And MPP, we are a very conservative party. There are 2 genders to us. It's male or female. There's no such thing as gender identity. No.
Or blending the two.
No. You can be a female who seems to be boyish. That's fine. I think it has always
been that way.
And our hosa. Oh, so Sanyamano, you're saying in Kofobi or high because some tomboy. It doesn't mean say yen san bibia and creative category for them.
Okay.
But anyway, now
yamra aye more campaigns where the kaka to various and that's almost the regions. Akaha. Last couple. Anyway, you just said the koye. Saying a month for receive more delegates because they said delegates they will be on receive but you can read in between the lines.
You can read in between the lines. You can read in between the lines. So that in truth, reception has been very good. And Ngofobin Zube propaganda say, oh, Monko North na reception ye good is nothing, but the reception was good. Ye free ye 4 northern regions, ye be Greater Accra, and Sunny as I call northern region and Sunny Eba. Ye call Greater Accra no. I was surprised. Because Ngofo at social media cast a Greater Accra or Modia. But the grassroots of the party in Greater Accra don't want to make a statement. They wanted to make a statement. Okay. Can you imagine say, the constituency be so first no MPs no declare, PCs no declare, and go for say Astro and whatever. Some 2 words be and one and and so you do what. Delegates now more matnas and coordinators and now only MPP structure only say coordinators in the Ukra party omuno mo bejira yanim omu bejira yanim we omu mani nsi ho omu bechu omu din nyina and I have all the documents here omachu omu phone number no ma sign and I'm telling you no constituency in Greater Accra did we get less than 80% of the electoral area coordinators.
Wow.
everywhere. I was so now if I do time because posting because a boom is so. So I was very impressed, and let me take this opportunity to say founder Greater Accra forward.
What are they no more? Because there are 5 candidates. Obia Kwa, it leaks crime of us. What were they saying exactly?
I mean, if we want to be honest, you know, a party for. But if we want to be honest, now you can say per president and who is most competent. They what demonstrating competence, no, what demonstrating character, any temperament. Because president and that even leader, flag bearer, no, and dahokwa to manage all the egos, especially in MPP. MPP will be a cat the boss to manage all of that to into some united front, a bit timid party now any power, and not from. I say we penya we discerning, and ye bibia na ho. It doesn't work. Okay. It doesn't work in a democracy. This any person offer to and so mehu sengophobia no more compare or more leader no to dictators. But krom henye dictatorship o. Yemfa military rule. Yemfa to Egypt to me.
A democracy.
Any consensus building. Inti enye say hey, say. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
What shall I say? Even in our Fourth Republic, Jodi Tuone Baye and and look at the character and temperament of all the presidents we've had. Why na etisa? Just a Ghana form pesa. To me be a president. Na yet me dia sumdwe ne tagewa. When you who? Oh, so what does it tell the party delegates? That character and temperament are key. And now Shemwa is clear. Na odi aba competence no nsem bebre yaka but obie ni ho a oye no credit for a obetimi aka say Yerabawumia is not competent or he's not the most competent to lead.
That's how to be. That would be.
And so dishonest and you can give me their reasoning. Adwenye edechri na menchira then I can easily explain.
Okay.
Obi beka say somebody's message is jobs. Yerabawumia ideas are edit jobs abano. It is more wider and far-fetched than creating opening factories. With MPP ye buy Nanado buy one of his key policy initiatives was one district, one factory. Yeah. NDC for no crack kayam and Kofodring say 1D 1F na nye juma. But say ye juma o. But enya dia enun kwa be solve unemployment. About 140 factories were and ye ka say enye say factory no ni na aban na be ma osika and aban na be run no MPP is center right. Yeah, we don't believe in government owning so many businesses. We believe in say ye be creative environment ye very enabling just say minya KOD unso person obi o factory the soil is fertile no so ekukuru de esi ho na otia no to your benefit. That has always been MPP in the policy. So 1D 1F sani ye into wo factory ketwa o na o apply na aban na hwekwan ya yebetimi aboa na we biem obi wo nso o mie but o good business plan na ya pekwan ya je funding na ma no over 140 and yes and about some 100,000 jobs were created through 1D 1F Mr. and unemployment problem it did not absolutely go away. Do you know why? So person
my interest because most people said on that line said
drew no any factory nko
yeah
no biana sebi your person your factory. That's why we are saying that we are in the 4th industrial revolution. I say man, my favorite example here me person me use is Singapore and South Korea. 1970 ni omabro pepe o.
1970.
I may a cause be recently Stanford seed. Bonini by a first picture they told so yeah a picture that looks like a slum. And now 1 year skyscrapers near there. You know bisa class ni na say hire him for obia Ghana at slums. And I know mubo way we no sre. Say this was South Korea in 1970 right. And this is South Korea now. Then you see they took advantage. One man came with ideas. Me just start time no start no. Na ne mind for ne sere no. So okasa dodo onim de oka. It is not possible. But what na so na ohhehye niama ne kakra and ayeye. And he took advantage of the revolutions that were the wave na AC wiase. And this is so wave AC wiase. Now create a system we are training and maybe in a very valuable scale of IT. So valuable skills IT is at the top. Now we're training so many of them in that. Now if you want to them we create app be who no be a creative Facebook. Isn't that easier and wiser than say afi na sikana odi ko sisi factories ne cry say no benya no ever. So it's not a sustainable way. It's not an idea in 2025. So be this in so say me to me no, it's a little regressive a seminar no akechi
so eyetina amanfo ntina
se na emfa because I didn't cry ya bi da
okay
ya bi na last 8 years here into different be now but me nkasa amfa e create 100,000 jobs and na Ghana for na dey show mo nsa na mo manage is all private sector manage into the private sector for any managing ye na e call ye fine omo nso tena ho manigu say aban na bo ama oje loan ni ade na nso tena ho manigu a ye nyina na wagu ye ni mase. But so creating millions of jobs and millions of dollars in our economy. You have to create value in what people find valuable right now.
Are you sure, sir, in Semiake, has it sat down so well with the populace, especially the delegates?
So if you are selling something, it's so easy to sell something that people can say. They'll say jobs. But if you interrogate jobs, in a way to send you into it, that time now no more 24-hour economy, it won't go voting papa because it was catchy. But what's not now Jane Ube who say, enko baby. Sans na we so international dream ho a obehu say at least if a bro adwen so cry don't forget one day one if ye ni nansen ya enche so you are not bringing anything new.
I see.
Well,
so
it is mpuntuo ne epe wo krom ha dia. I think the decision is very obvious. And the delegates of MPP no ye toto omo form omo nya form they are very sharp.
Yeah. As you
and sometimes near man for ka form hono me na e me ya obi asori abendorse a osi atono obi MP a na sisi krom ha MP ubedi a onim sika wo hiansa na we di MP obi obekwa di MP bi anya akola o ye chinchim na adwen MPC na omuni all 5 candidates atena omuni momo ebi ni omo tena parliament more than 24 years omuni momo yie omunyi na hwem ehu say we ni edinidi party n'anim ebeboa ye we ni edinidi Ghana n'anim ebeboa nti utwin say delegates no mu hu delegates nso ni omunyi na edi agro yeru about me oba MPP mu about 2007 or starting yeru ananado campaign ye no. He was the campaign workhorse. Intina si say otwi emutsa no. Ono onda o. Anope me sorry mani kum omukọ.
Wesi sukra.
Because why yes sir. And every time I not always say no any party for ne ye. Into omunim no. Omunim ni suni ne ban. Entro ni bebre amundi egu ne so ne nso. Omunim se ntesa. Omunim se papa no obi a oje no. Me asante kotoko ni ba. Obi anka me ba yi, me ba mu yi. Ye beka so oba adaben. Me ba yo hu se yakolai ni kasa onim kasa obuade. E do friend me say friend me say ekia me pa chobo bra na be iboa me na be boa gideon boakon he say ne ni abre e wo parliament na be me kasa mafo abedi ekiri obisa me say me free here na
omusa
no
and also who the competency in you
it was irrelevant to him and as onim omo a ye won ne hu nyina Kofi Tonto the akwala nya me kwesi boche so it's just who talent and no who obi o ye sharp we ye young so cry dia we kunu into sha asema na make chair some of your seniors in the office and it's almost as you say they're young boys. Now Debbie I say but me had in college young people now. And I'm saying they am because most of buy now they must around now most of more young.
Right.
But you say more when you and I recruiting new young. So by that nature a delegates nso ni omadi ago ache no omunim sani amani bebre aye ka no enye no kre because omu so omodi agro no ba on the basis of competence a emfa nti ye behwe ade a wo ye ho hwe enye ye ade a enye wo fault me no te hey ye wo ye wodagomba ho ba bia nka ye nkremofo wo ye ho hwe a enye ye enye ya watum enye wo na wo choose but what makes it ni say tolerance KOD many papa na anam consistently since I was appointed. You call sorry, you call events were sorry. There's no time asofu bi abegina ye nima or de bibia to ye nima ya anye ntentem. And only ebe pressure kra kese because ohun ne say you know
you need to tolerate others.
It's not even tolerate. He also likes the faith. He does it, you know, sometimes no if you are a believer you know that we are all serving one God. Abraham nyamena na yina yesomo. So it's not so different. We mo yomudi say he's not going to impose his own on you. There be me say sorry ayaboa any sorry ayesi no. More it might be even more than on one some there no.
Meaning so we see beside their matches to fall.
He doesn't like it when we do this. Say ye betina hana ye kanyama waye. But I think we know Father Campbell Ankasa publish so I can talk about it.
Okay.
Father Campbell wager leprosorium. Google so that it's not like me that make. Okay. But recently, or the beto nanim say, or person see BB a can wager leprosorium. Intentema near the man. Into will be timia kase obey him. It's not true. Into Sanya man delegates ni bin ni omu because omoni nante 17 years.
They know him.
Omunim so obi aba ne na so a obeje omo. So I feel say those kind of propaganda na enye adwuma and MPP we've always demonstrated say ye nto about on those lines. So sha unsa Aliu Mahama one ye Nanado echo contest. Unsa not o man support Aliu Mahama. O man support no. Me so 100 votes crowd or not onyaye. Nanado swept the whole north. That time it was 3 northern regions. So almost what you said they don't support based on say uye nua. And na north in the cry nya baako. That's one thing other candidates so are also missing. If you want to be a lead, MPP, we've come a long way in trying to build our support and our base. Keenly because of Yoruba Mahmoud Bawumia. When he joined Nana Roshep trajectory of votes in the north near there, it has appreciated that 2024 Asem Kesia to party no, and it happened all around. But even in 2024, social level of apathy, Greater Accra about 400,000 people and it had about 350. North no, it was the whole north 5 no Yakabuma was less than 100,000. Into your percentage now, the level of apathy in the 5 northern regions was 16%. As compared to a baby 45 near there no into sheka say not for any kwanto no so crowd boa won share data no won share data no and na say wahwe na wo boa. Okay, it's not true. Zongo votes in so MPP and sana ba me eba tickets so near number 20%. About 35% bear 2020. Obeda tickets so about 40%. Yen kase mon yes. But in all of this, no, we MPP suffered a tsunami together with almost all incumbent governments. Because now we are saying into a mama no obia punishing the government. UK Conservative Party no matter na 14 years. And so last year, because of the economic crisis that happened all around the world, so we suffered a tsunami. Into me in fasa election results in your campaign basis. You don't want to appreciate competence because nipa bebre presidents bebre ayenya de omo call back anye ye ye ka say de call back you represent ko for call face when you 36% to say ye ka say call we nya 40 cry ento ne nchene a Anka yenya free maternal health care. Yenya NHIS. Nana do yede no koi. Anka yenya free SHS. So to say obi akoba kun we lose my emfa ne nkobio na is a dead on arrival argument. And it doesn't hold any water because there are so many leaders around the world that omo koye and omo ba omutimi beye adia omaima no ebetimi a cherish it lives they leave a legacy. So to use the election results and make crowd I think say yembongu but sometimes you have to explain say even in those dynamics no it is not what people are saying and to say the other mathematics will be saying na damango you're about me or omunia no crowman to amano. Hey, if you are thinking about it like that, hona no failure exam no. Just say wo ye de mawa, ye ka 5-0 regions the boom unya 100 because on say they are not the same. You can go to a regional. No mo ye be 3 different tribes. Obi akakasa fofo, they have different lives. E just say you about south. Now say nanado Owusu election ebia central region Antoama no intini krom for Antoama no me pacho nanado fi central region but you will say they are all southerners. That's how ridiculous that argument is because that man go for omo ye gonja for John Mahama Krum for it's never been an MPP stronghold. Ye Ronabo Abujina for free hoye area boy. So he was able to get us that seat. Nanado 2016 Owusu Damango. 2020 Owusu Damango. Ye raba mi anko aba no Owusu Damango. Ono nya da onye gonje ni o. Of different place. Era Abujina poka ni Krum kasa. Ye raba mi anti ase. But ye say we're losing the Krum for how?
So these are the arguments. But also doc say suddenly way and walker. But the more campaign team, no, are they able to articulate this one so well for people to understand? Because these are circulations,
that's why I'm here.
So they walker. That's what the rest of the campaign team because Bunting the way it's supposed to come.
Oh. Then there's something that we need to work on. But I think we've all been saying it. We've all been saying this. We try to explain the dynamics on the ground. But the truth is, I've realized that some people are louder than us. I know they. And they've been so manka 1 hour ya wa momu yanka yenkwa no mu twa yen. Omo de yera ba me at table so no mu twa na chi sa. So that's how they do it. So there will be in some baby ni na yentro. Over here asem no kana onte ase and our shedda. Onimpa so oboa.
Yeah, so no work. Right, my share from this angle, the personality Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. How is he like? The personality, because Yate stories. I want a clarification. That's what I'm
sure.
Yeah. Yate stories. Ebisi oye weakling. Ebisi untimin fani si form. How is he like? You have worked closely with him.
I don't believe it at all. But me also MPP na opa kunya ne de ebe keka ho nsem. Say yera ko fon so oba na yeso e weakling. Afi o we ne ye say o ye gentle giant.
Ho no koka say won hu so shia.
Nsuo afani pada is the same thing.
Okay.
Nti yera about me ono so won hu say nsuo shia afani pada. Obeye na ade obeye. And I don't even I will explain it to you off air and then you will understand. At every stage of this game, he has played it like a master.
Wow. Every stage of the game.
Every stage. Into what so washa ye kwa battle and I competition na there be obi complain here. Yes, and who has been doing that? Into just at every stage it has dazed them. Ye call not if obi to baby say yeah they are threatening people for endorsements. Now it's me do Tamale Central. E ma me phone free from when they were doing this for 30 minutes. Omo pesa papa ne be kasa o. Bare 30 minutes you poor macho. Na me try a video and I say does this look like people that have been threatened?
I see.
Well, so is
so been a war excuse in so yeah.
We do cry na and the omu begu enim ho nyinara. This that's not threats, but at every stage no the outsmarting nipa o. We are not in the ancient world.
Yeah. We are not in an ancient world.
We are not in an ancient world that you did a two na de niama o. Inti Rebecca say hey. We are not there anymore. Yeah. Have you seen people that are successful now? They are smooth operators.
Yeah.
smooth operator. Oh, yeah, results na and I don't think he's weak in any way. But ne role as vice president, Juma so who start handle. Maybe a Gideon deputy, Honorable Gideon Boakun deputy. Or there are ways that I would have to behave because already I'm a boss.
All right.
And this even Kasama for. Now we are president deputy. There are ways that you have to behave. You cannot me outshine no. And then answer any president know how he was. Nana is a very responsible character. Until we born a chidom, yours is never to outshine him. Until we share a role which naturally when you become say subservient. Now we say you're timid. And also na washeda.
I see.
Well,
I see.
But on one case, we will see.
On his own.
We will see his presidency. It doesn't. He's not on your idea. What you say? What can I say? Not what to be on your idea. And that's what we need in a president. What the what can what? But he won't come and.
Yeah.
That's a gentleman, actually. You see, we are looking for the first gentleman of the country. It's a kind of first gentleman of the country. And your first shouter.
I see. You're the
Inti so yes, now we are now who the own canal say timid. I won't say me working with him no debut on timid. Yes, really bunepa because the bufu and the boyfu.
Okay, see. I see.
But he was vice president, and so nyamabio and politics na ye. Nyina yenim say politics na ye enye bibia na adwumam kra wo ho na wo boss wo ho enye bibia na wo betimi apie abeka say oh ye say na mempese obeye say oh ye say eche say adwuma no nte ase. It means you are not a good deputy.
Now me baho because made accusations about on the economic management team on the penny or honum okay so betchi dollar the I just my IGP in
I like that.
He was running away from
that question. Do you know what time of the administration he said dollar no the IGP?
That was the first time.
Then go and check the depreciation of the cedi to the dollar. Okay. From 2017 till 2022 no. Cedi no equals to 2 cedis. About more than 4 years. Yeah. That was under control. Into your car, he wasn't lying. Okay. But after the economic crisis, no, he didn't foresee it. He could have foreseen the economic crisis. No. But see, and so one could out. Some Quebecers of media vice president, media ne say me ko wedding akuchia na makwa sorry. Yerajon Mahamo vice president who say Yerajon Jinapon and any spokesperson. Or no akra bekai. Say vice president today. Would the say president in the year Jumano. Now what they are suma now we call wedding now we naming ceremony now we chichi and for. That has been the traditional role of a vice president. In terms of say I made a vice president. I mean some baby. But not down now. No who say will go chrome high, we can do this.
So that was where the idea was hatched.
Exactly. In 2022
crisis in the
exactly. Yes, when around that time, MTN Fonso Abase, almost person more expatriated $3 billion. I see, yeah. Baby, I see the year doing now and MTN Fonso you $3 billion through Mudia Yewu. Into down now. No say I MTN for a bit me more gold because you will gold be brave. In the for $3 billion into gold. Near for gold no more do South Africa the more pay your money and it came. Then we put it into a policy framework. And as you say NDC for you see. Until like I always say we are So he has displayed his competence even in his limited capacity when it comes to the economy. Economic management team, you better do them be a veteran, but obian him say advisory. You can't say be advisory. What it means is that ubekwa kwa ya odie, nwa tufo, ye before ye mfo, a different matter. Si say ya NDC for omoye dollar why no mo bonechi why no mo bonabaso
say omanpeni about to force no more.
Thank you. Almost say ato is forcing. Omunka say the na is forcing. No. Case closed.
So it answers it.
Yes, and everybody understands it all. But it's easier to do cheap politics with it. Because finance minister is finance and economic planning. On there, you advise it.
Upon offer.
But say as a human being, as a very effective person, in your small corner, you try and brighten it. Into me, yeah, I always use mine because I'm also a deputy. Into I'm a kind of person, I mean, a deputy. Into it's yeah, you are not in charge of the whole outlook. Obi adwuma ene to oversee all of it. But kids one you do your best to brighten that corner, and you brighten it so well. Say that you be ye share wo corner hona. E because say hey kids one ye de ma okra o brighten ho pa we just ye de kese ne ma wa obetimi aye. Inti yen share ye rubber mia in that. Or no ye vice president. Yen share in the category of vice president, the simple question is, so sad na, would the mana, and I think it's overly demonstrated by the gold purchase program, and no cranky the 2 tables so and can say a case close,
a flow,
and casa. But then you move on, zip line, then you move on, electric buses, and look at the Ankayere few. So send me who said John the melody, hey, you see, me say, hey, John, yeah, that was so I'm a buses, say, and Ghana for me, Casa Momun, you buses, no. Yeah. We are happy that they are using it, but it is important to point out so bit na say no who say ye ko EV e beboa nti yen so yen kan anu nto ye be kai amanfo no de okofa abasis ne bae using there is good. It's to ease congestion, and yes, that's what we want. Ye person amanfo no be ho be ha we are very happy say even in opposition no pray internal prayer, but mu use ye niama no we are very happy about it. So and every other sector, digitization of health records, you know, bibi ketwa bia no betimi de nsa ka bia no de nsa kokan or de nsa kanso
we get results, we see results.
Exactly. So why do you not let this person be president? And when you are talking about flag bearership, marketability is very important too. Ombeka che say ya marketing na mfa. Obia o hwe MPP mu abakosem de na che say obia ni ho ya marketing ba akon afada. Inti chesesa obia ni ho ya marketing ba akon afada. Obia but esa consistency no. Say ya market wa inti ansa na ye beko no na amanfo ne hu a ebedu ba bi ko obi beka say o papa ye wa ba ya manenko. A lot of people even vote on that thing.
A
lot of people say that, and I feel like Raja Mahama had any boane pa because he had been on the ticket. He had been on the ticket. They say okay, na nad we yet nanche. Ye mama Mahama mbe ne die.
Yen trial no so yen hwe.
Nipa bebre kan say ye mama Mahama mbe ne die. So consistency counts in this country. Yentimi nyi mfa nto nchene. Wo pese oba na wo te party ne sign because ye de oba as a new candidate. Ohun sem bebre yi. You start to see about tapes here. There is no obia or person or very objective analysis being who said just 2028 it will be worse. Because there are so many things that you would now be trying to overcome. I be here time as a party. Na yatete, you know, we will have to yatete nyamane free home. Ya shape temperament, you know. Ya you say it won't take 3 years. Inti SMPP ye nia break see ye 2028. They were ready and you was here the
yeah. That's a large mama.
Yes, and it's very why now you ready. Me see you do krobi so upper west we chow. Mami bi fine efuom eba osheba omia t-shirt. Yedru bono obi enam kwan ho osheba omia t-shirt. So they are aware of that persona.
Familiar with them.
No me who papa any man na abasa beda ballot book. It will work. And the fact, I say, even in the midst of all the problems, fatigue, MPP, so propaganda, NDC for the and Namoya conform, mobile, Monko for almost stand trial. The first thing they did, Nolly prosecute for all of them. Where you will be away serious or fight corruption.
Right.
But they made it such that ye kra ni any government aban mu kra na ye frɛ conform means menje aban post and hey obetwa de ani abetwa ase and you are the thieves say hey me abeti be private clinic. You see, but that's how the propaganda was effective at that time. And in the midst of ni nyina no kra otiminya 41.7%. What that tells you is that there's not somebody that is not going to win. And yet, just a way o tanachi obe win and na won so nim ne nim de nso se o win nso a o de ade papa na beba even members of the other camp no omo ntimi dispute say oye competent oye nimdifo nipa bebre bia ye nua sika aka
to untimi dispute
say oye won say a bad say intelligence no oye sharp inti ade mbio.
Mesaba, the internal wranglings na ekoso no yahwe how if anything goes by your estimation, how are you going to rope all of them back into the party? But my kind messages no. Kakana abanona afe yemfa eno entwaso emamo. Oibo Boateng Watchman Nebehins, Dr. Bawumia's campaign is gaining momentum day in, day out. All indications show that Dr. Bawumia is MPP sure bet. Hashtag the Bawumia factor. Greetings, Honorable Amwawuku Michael, Ashanti Regional MPP Secretary Hopeful. Oibo Boateng Nebehin ena Odiwe Abraying. I understand why Ghana is allowing LGBTQ acceptance despite our ancestral values. Both the MPP and NDC seem indifferent on this issue. I believe Kennedy Ohini Japan, a steadfast and principled candidate, can end the inclusion of LGBTQ content in our education system. I urge all MPP delegates to consider the voice of Ghanaians and vote accordingly. Chipak Boniface, MPP, Nasara organizer, hopeful, German South, Bono region. True leadership is still worship. It demands a leader of principle, one whose words are as steadfast as their actions. Okay, yeah, that's it. We essay from Amansan Ntie. I say, Kodi, good morning. Nokre Moma Yanka Entre Omampeni Mahamani NDC4 say 24-hour economy no na wo hodada. NDC4 noa na won begu enyuma na na ewo omayimu nyina ebi te say sawmills, shoe factories, jute factory and so on. Okay, ti ono se 24-hour economy na wo hodada nti mo na mbegu no nti mo kasa mo sign aba. Anyway, teacher Kujo Otepanyina so the MPP delegates, Ghanaians are not looking for a president who is bold and courageous, but one who has ideas and can think outside the box to solve the problems confronting them in their daily lives. Again, Ghanaians want a president who is humble, respectful, does not open his mouth to insult people, can stand in front of people and talk maturely, and is able to express himself extemporaneously. Dr. Bawumia is the hope of Ghana. Greetings, Honorable Eric Nana Ajiman Prempe MP for Hafwa North and Chairman of Dono Kweku Ajiman Kweku Apia Kuka. All right. Teacher Kujo Krona, I think that one has been read. So the NDC are aware that Bawumia is the only threat for the 2028. NDC is hiding behind Ken. The evidence is not far-fetched. They have paid Ken part of his contract sum. If it were to be Bawumia, would they have paid him that amount to Mpacho minimum when I walk out minim. Delegates should give Bawumia 70%. Entry E Bwesiako Ewojansa and Odi Abam. Fast some can see we Beshaman Medasi. We say good morning, Kudi. I don't understand things on Porter Pies down. It's down, but food okay. Prices are down. Dollar is up, and but the food is transportation and so many things are very high. Could you tell me the reason why, or ask the NDC government for us? Nana Kwame latest form. The prices were a simple dollar above from near my from, but Eduane still any transport that's so cost on Timimusa man. Okay. Dr. Makun looking so beautiful. Wow, I like the way she's talking. Nana Kwame, I will vote for Bawumia on the next 2 weeks, next week, and Dr. Bawumia will win. Nana Kwame latest from Korea, and Odiwe Ebraying. You say good morning, Kodi. I'm watching you from Senegal, Kasamas, Elekain, and my name is John Ato Asan. Please, Kodi, tell MPP woman to shut up and stop the propaganda because she is misleading Ghanaians. This very morning during their time, they started gold for oil. What impact did we see? They should give us a break. Okay. And also, yes, or how be yano. Okay, signed for Frabam. They said, I'm okay from Bantama in the Senate West District. The time has come to say it plainly. MPP party cannot move forward under the weight of these field schemers. If the MPP, New Patriotic Party, is to rise again, if you are to restore hope and integrity, then one thing must happen first. Bawumia must lose the upcoming elections. Enough of the deceit, enough of the hypocrisy. The grassroots demands honesty, fairness, and true leadership, and not this circus of contradictions. Now, the example Abba.
Branch.
Yeah.
I think the true grassroots will speak.
Yes, okay.
And NDC4, no. See, when I started, I said their propaganda is very effective because they saw that gold for oil, the purpose. In fact, Sami Jemfia a humanist simple amount. Or better news files also said the purpose of those policies was not to generate profits. The purpose of gold for oil was to mitigate the cost of fuel at that time.
Yeah.
And it did that perfectly.
Yeah.
Because at that time, now world crude prices, it was almost $100 per barrel. Into with our exchange rates and things. So when I have a BOG report here as my evidence to back what I'm saying, pre-gold for oil, we would have been looking at about $150 per barrel, $100 per barrel. When we use the gold for oil barter system, we were now getting it for about $58 per barrel. So at that time, with what the country was going through, the gold for oil worked. And that was a different policy from gold for reserve.
Okay.
And don't confuse the two to try and confuse people
Yeah,
and call me a propagandist. That's just all I want to say.
Anyway.
One was to mitigate the cost of oil at a certain cost to us. In the gold for oil was for profit. Gold for reserve was to help stabilize the economy. Moamo Bank of Ghana governor Enra Enyumre Ewone party ase waka one ne wasema go to him.
Anyway, yamra the internal rumblings na yenhwe. The party and Orajo Gati atrone me so wenya daje yeah waka say a party that is divided, a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. Ti moi yeko mo pressure yento abamamoni. You should know how to speak so that you elect the person Ghana for or by appealing to Ghanaians. How do we look at these things and how will it affect the fortunes of the MPP if it is anything to
I truly believe that it's something we should look at. Even during the Michael Quay's reports on our defeats, yeah. It's true. And it was false. What's me baby because MPB I got told dying now baby. And this is for about 1 year. Say no crank or matching.
Yeah.
And so you're and so on and I'm home. So it just means that to make or say, go party in who fee a year, all because your amount of leadership. I mean, how can you then call this person principled?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Opa dear, ye wo nyina ye wo abusuam, abusuan na boa wo, nso wa boa abusuan no. Afi ope so odi abusuan nim. Abusuan si yempewo, yemma wo nua ndi. Yamfa amma wo nti. Engu. How is that principled?
I see. To affect him. And it's still ongoing. So how do we manage
it? And
the
same thing is happening again. How do we manage it? We manage it by going on January 31st and showing that we stand for principles. We don't stand for divisive comments. We don't stand for tribal politics. We don't stand for San Seminole. That's how we make the decision. That's how, because Ghana for sharing, NDC for sharing, almost started and it affected our political fortunes because now being too mine because they didn't feel welcome in our party. And if you look at the history of MPP in Swa, it's not true. When UP was coming together, SD Dombo, he brought 15 seats into that assembly. Buzia brought one when I think NLM had 2 or 3.
So one of the highest by.
Into a drew hono, SD Dombo and Kobetimi aka say, Mina me crack a Mina me deanim. But who say at that time, no, Buzia won our co enim or international recognition. The SD Dombo, man, Minister of Education. He came with 15 seats.
Yeah.
So the party has always been a cohesive party. Then this if one starts saying, where I come for party, where I come, so that they will exclude others and they can capitalize on all the minorities. So my area, my idiom chromo be but dear, your mom fasatarian and shayin. No more did you and we can't eat into theirs. It means you don't want the progress of the party.
Yeah.
And so any candidate that is going on that line wants distraction. Any candidate or yes say one farmer me say no. I didn't saw the man.
I see.
And that person is not principled. You cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, say that person is principled. It's not true.
Okay.
Obi kokaye sometime be. And now I'm saying GH1 for a flyer. Me say I was just reading the comments. I was just reading the comments. It's just a Ghana for sebi omo hwe. And they are very discerning. Inti enye they know awo ye no, they are watching. Inti omo nimu niama wakeka niama awaye say. So they know what principled is. So you don't come out and say I'm principled and that makes you principled. No. Nipa nebe judge who say way or ye principled, way on your principled. Esa wo kan wa adwen and as sebe o kasa you no. That does not mean so ye principled.
Yeah. Obi be kase on the other side, Abronya, muti Abronyanka.
Abronya ye Bunu regional chairman ye tedinka.
Or so in a way go toward or told towards your angle. Mate commentary be brave. On about me and nam, Baumian carrying. That is what I've heard. Until you can answer to that.
On about me and nam wave. Abronya ye Bunu regional chairman. Oko ye do region be regional chairman or why ye naso. Regional chairman person of Maya Kwaba, ye man Maya Kwaba. Into your Kobono region, now regional chairman of Maya Kwaba.
Kase onye. I see.
Abronye a party ni nipa o feel say obi person or say party no. And on why you soon nipa crona style of politics so.
Or the manual. Okay.
Oh, into who know to say sana na wo ye politics no. Abronye ye will be there. Yenchanity. Oh, into when we said they now we no.
Right.
Say it there, and ye munjano. And I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Me Kumasi, I really wanted to dispel a lot of propaganda and delve into issues of some other candidates. But I said, Debbie,
don't go there.
Don't go there. There's so much to say about me.
Wow.
Focus on me.
That was the instruction.
Instruction. Explicit instruction. Into what here? Me timika be ko baby.
No was not trouble.
Because they said there's so much to say about me. And he's very much aware, say, he's most likely to win. And now over here will be he wants to be able to unite everybody. Into what we me kasama for them. But obi asebi wako kan ntokwa. Uko kan ntokwa ina ihu yo. Because ye twabaye. Mutoto maamo ho. Na nipa ko na je ntokwa na sim. Na onu de bi otoma ne wo in your own style. Because now sa na won so tie.
Right.
I feel they be show be.
I see.
But let me contrast that. More TikTok said then. Alex Tete. Ono better answer no part when you Is it not lies and propaganda? In fact, it's more vitriolic than Chairman Abronye.
Okay.
Yeah, one of our deputy directors of communication. And some more to make it can. And who dey who ye? But there be Abronye. And Abronye is not under our control.
Yeah, it's not under your control.
He's not under our
that
control.
was the line another person because almost associating.
He's not under your control. But what do you say? Oh, can Yakopo Abronye achosu njai? I know that maybe in a form of advice, no. He might have been advised, but Abronye sabi onya akwala. And na station na obi na simano. Ono na ye na ade nti de open oye.
Right.
And he's using your own style. I mean, then I am you know. What do you know? We any be no oil, but it's a problem.
Oh no, oh they won't say a problem.
But would you yeah, dear? It's fine.
Right. So that is the issue. Right. Menya say producer when we able be a man correct 10 minutes be na yenti 1 or 2 be if possible. You can give me a sign na fe yahwe na yedi enkomo no ewo ha. Okay. My yahwe 1 or 2 be na yahwe say betimi be a man just
phone number
0551 599 933 0551 599 933. Bear some few minutes. Your baby wrap up waha na yahwe said the aircrow. So let me pick my calls, then listen to what people also want to say to you. Hello. Okay, when to me so 0551-599-933. Good morning, I'm Mami Bruni from Seria Junction. I like this program, especially my sister talking in your studios.
I
She's
like
good.
you
Anyway.
too.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Kessben.
Kessben.
If I'm a question of Dr. Mensa,
Mami to kwesi.
me can't delegate in a holiday. But me, I mean, Tiasi Okrum Hanse. Ubiti Baumia, you see a Tiasi Kama. It's delegates, no, yeah, any from say, you just come and sign with you, but you do be a city only or okay, only in Tiasi Kama.
I see.
That's a man, have any Kama. Obi do obi ati dey atwa sika man ba obi do obi ati dey aye okay asi e hwa na ehu di ade ababo o man no na obi say atwa sika man obi ati ba de obi do ati dey atwa sika man asem e hemfa na ka na me
that's ya ono so dey no say okodi asumasi echi atwa sika odi echi dey na okay right. Hello. Yes sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Me am adumo na onso e.
Yes, adumo.
Pacho din dey say.
Did they appear could be me prayer this one?
Mami to opening.
No, the again they can.
Go, nyabotre.
On the basic, Madam now to one. And I'm better me can't them kakration.
Okay.
Now we be trying to say abronye the oil no into a year na 10. But I say or no said was be canon me and ye the oil in ye or some pemu catcher said the oil in ye.
Okay.
Ye will be at our yes, into so be a bonnie to young Coswania bonita. This year, any Mebulun MPP, any abre. That's almost MPP. Because Abron said was big canon and yeah, the papa. And yes, we are here. Mama, ya bretta, my Jumacra, my dear, make at me delegate, no, I get. And in the Amocano, or some who say, and remember any abre. Yanka, Yantuma, Dr. Belmia. Omo Mubena, the papa, what's a umbet ama MPP anwini but any part of more can some city almost that we are one day do be a campaign.
That's a big question. So I heard the who hear me pa. Anyway, hello. Yes sir, good morning. Yes sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Pastor from I don't think Katia.
Yo.
Me free I Kokobin.
Mami too.
The American sister no wakasa kama. But the American is a Mr. We have a kind of hobble just at the first year, Koya, in Yankamu. Yes, Fremo. Put a job from Yanya break. Say, yeah, Jumanya, better position. Young person better position 2 times. Yes, Fremo. Ain't he? Yeah, quack or anything. So be a one come from Sadia, my minutes, Akasakamano, Metiasia Media. I am for Kennedy. Thank
you very much. That is the beauty of democracy. And the money there. Right. Hello? Maybe I told you to read a TV no now wetting why?
Mate.
Your first opening.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, your first thing.
Your friend me Ura me kata ku se US.
Na minti Ura.
And 2 weeks. Yeah, say MPP for chair candidate obetimi abedi amankonanim amayetimi apre fumi 2032 and 2028 the ntimi wene.
Oh, we are not people.
Yeah, farmer Bra Champo.
Oh, okay.
Bra Champo na if you say our turn because yeah said the nyoma esi course say ya na ye bisa o and next say your campaign and na e de be asem na ye kwakoka ye candidate for me no ye need am so me no o de ba ko ba o nya bibi anka ba ko so MPP for ya e say catch them say na be say be ka from ye bie ni tim so iti emom for abama no ba ko so bi sa ne say for policy there na wo de ba say our so no de wo ye experience on no mo aton ba ko Ghana they say ye obi a ya turn ba ko aton me no ye obi a de ye wura mahama ye no so timi ba obetima to aso aboa ye enye obi ne personal interest mamintia any brother we lala o very bonzan.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Ira Brand champion the policy near because Metehano
I've been thinking.
I've given out
a
lot of policies. And Uma me time kakra. I'll give you delegate specific policies. But on one the candidates maintain the policy.
I will pick it to be near Samra. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Baje Frosting.
Pacho your friend Polo.
Polo, Pacho Mintu.
Pacho me frejura. Pacho doctor waya dia pa. Madam Yamishirano. Okay, was a TV vice president. I
see.
By minu ebika say obisa kwashu bi say abronya de oyen. Eyana. And a sister and one say Dabi. Mano dear wo pachireno na Kennedy dear ya wonu wokano. Samano one ti Kennedy anumase.
Oh, okay.
Na kwashiba no de bisa kwana Kennedy. Enti ye nyina ye pasumdue wo party no.
All right.
Ye wura ba we won nam ne nyina no. Why na ti say wa bo bidin awon ranum. Nada na delegate ayi friends and aspirants ni na baumia other way I do.
Let us see. Make pick the last one afi yemra me rapport apo hanum say 0551599933 last one so amadi na doctor okay baba. Hello.
Hello.
Yes sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Me ba Jeffro saying.
Pacha Flemi Ebina Christopher. Make us a free time, Sequa.
Mamintu.
Madam Sepa, ne baby, a map program yedru. Yaminsura mopa. Na minia bano hono. Medium huni nka osha nanso na adwene nyine papa. Yes, when so on twaso sa no ni papa nechi. No mwe program na enye kama. Na minshire munyina.
Yeah, that's it. Yentime for be bio. My member doctor
Kia Amwako.
Right.
Chairman, I said you did. Last call and no response in the day. I was very happy with this. Like I said, a foot to ako.
But you won't do it openly. Yeah, more to foot.
A foot. That's all I can say. Say a foot to ako.
Yeah.
But a so go for who say a yo omumi nun to
problem. Okay.
No, but say almost side ni who say almost the frying ya. Now at the pressure to ye so then we interfere.
I see.
But anka ye kanu krepa omunko for no etwa ye pa o. Enu de ye hu. There be ba me ade mesre mo moja nam ni mu. On de ye twa na enye ya.
That's right.
Mi omutimi twa ama ne beka me.
Well, too, baby.
Mama, me baby. Omutimi de me NDC for ni etwa me. Aden. Ye di ye nipa.
Yeah.
That's all I will tell Obia. Into the own person de be ye ono. Me mfa nye wunua.
You have delegate specific policies. Yeah,
you'll
be 3 minutes. So
I'll try and do that within 3 minutes. Sure. In fact, of all the aspirants, onunkwa na atenase ebisa delegates no de edo makoma so, and he has answered those questions.
Okay.
So sure, one of the problems after the election was edidija. Into how do we fix this edidija problem? Call us me no omo phrase omo ye party delegates omo nye jumanye. How do we fix that problem? No, say one of our main issues is say ye nim ye delegates ne kra ne de omo hia ene baby omo wo ebia we wo degree we ye hia scholarship we ye business person obi hia we ye say we don't have a database. Into first ye nye database ye benya obia ni din the dana koma so you some basic profiling about all the delegates. Na say ye ba ben mo a enye say ye mboa Ghana for there be a policies no will be rolled out to everybody. By your party delegates no mundu 300,000. We have to make sure say to send NDC for
ye satisfied.
Sudden this for ye ultimate monthly 20,000 cities. Ye dey enye say because enwe ye chrono. But say juma ba see making sure say enko for bi. And how do we do that to make sure say it's a taste and enko for ton slot says how do we make sure those things don't happen? Yeah, be database. Yeah, was staffer to monitor those things. Na electoral area coordinators, you more coordinators of welfare database. The one making sure so obia is sorted. Inti dia bebia no mo chefa mo nsabeka. No, na ye antonton na ye chese ye bewie 4 years na niama ye basa party for no eni anje because o party for bufu na wulusu. Exactly. So that was a direct solution to the direct problem on the two yenim. Another issue also say sometimes na appointments na kogu one side na aye some way. Now three MPP more Ashanti region na ye vote ab. I had na benya MPs dodo. Nti aye dey ha ministers do be free. But a year appointments na can obeko some other constituencies. Na omu ni deputy CEO be cry ye ba obetimi akobonsa wo ho. Inti yen decentralize appointments no. Aban bia obema John Mahama also a lean government but still he has given more than 7,000 appointments out. Inti we there 3,000. Now the deserving party people are. There's nothing wrong with that. It's constituency by constituency obi abenya 10. Nwa mo betena mwe yi nipa 10 no de o ma hye baby a o deserve o mo boy adwuma o ma to aso o mo ambo adwuma mo am de nipa foforo aba nti wo hwe a ye decentralize enye say na bibia kodi nipa ba ko ho na afi nipa ko na betena yeso abaye nyame. The third one was constituency-based budget. Na ebesisa kwan ya fa so ye budget no. Because he say you to force a thing kind of decided the other budget no. But he say what he is suggesting, he say ebe perform into your doom ye ba dey na here mo ebe sanitation bibisa. That is what will feed into the national budget. Say ye chrome na street lights that's what will feed into the budget. And to avoid the situation where na you contracts nyina e wo nipa ba ko nsem won kran na nipa ko na be alpha and omega no say they trying see niska until we are going to decentralize the giving of contracts and so until a has sanitation a ha constituency na nipa ko na be budget a chrome street lights a ho nipa de be a street lights so you can imagine the way be stimulating local economy I just bro chrome no mo ye tender na e say nso sa until kakra wo betimi abo ba na nipa 5 kam betimi afom me na munya sika na mo ye street lights no na local economy no obi enya bibi akoso a town hall will try and come and meet every constituency once a year na wo hwe ye papa na djuma ne to ne de ma otimi ye na obetimi aye by the end of the year no na wabetietie form ehu de ekoso then he can make changes. The last one ye bonnet of I say election day resources this anyama no ye chewo party no ma e de kasa bebre badodo hey bebre nu meti huma count ebi onso kwa na nipa ko obi amfa osika o but mistrust nti obehena chairman bi court ne baby onye hwe ya kato ne so how do we make sure this whole papaya bama momo ye biem obia wo momo we have almost 80% financial inclusion na Ghana Africa obia ni bisa nti ade na ye make use nti obia party ni oye party ni dwumaphobia e wo momo nti ye the resources na e buy abegu phone so direct oni obia ampre ho no obia kwaje wo holding fee wo sikanem nti wo hwa ye de asoto from any TT or Mohau, any Tina when a leadership and we came up with solutions to party specific problems. So we are giving the delegates party specific solutions. Yeah, we need Yabeka Ghana specific
Doc, every time I saw. Thank you. That's it. You say we have time to talk more on these issues. So thank you very much for
Thank
passing
you very
through.
much for having me.
Yeah. We are Dr. Ekwia Amwakon, ono your deputy spokesperson, the Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia doctor, ono your presidential aspirants at the new patriotic party. Yedjubedino be siwa na appropriately we will be continue anyone be koswa engage because omwa na yani wedding messages meant me and kind but let's end it here. Now, you're sorry, na sports for no embe so say you like and the rest of the sports crew no embe so that was it. Okay. Right, Ntie, my birthday sina yen sorry. Enko. Happy blessed birthday, Enko my girlfriend Jemfi aka Pakwesi. Yeah, Ote Obuasi. Also may the Almighty God bless him with good health, long life, and more cash from Adepa Special. We Dr. Abedi Kwadaso and the brain. Happy birthday in coma, the head pastor of the Lighthouse Assemblies of God Church, Ewo Pankrono Estate B line, from his son Frank Eduse and all the entire members of the Lighthouse Assembly of God. Happy birthday in coma, Dr. Joe Ennis, aka Nana Joe, lecturer, Kessben University, Department of Politics, International Relations, and Public Administration. I say on your birthday, I thank God for the gift of your life, for every lessons you have learned, every victory you've won, and every challenge that has made you stronger. I pray that this new year of yours will be filled with divine guidance, open doors, and endless grace from the entire Kessben University to you. Na chese eno ensonono. Afei, my okay, we medical here. Enti yemfansi. Doc, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Me
yes.
sure say you be share.
Yes.
It will hard till about
yes.
the end of the
wow.
like 27th.
Wow. Until for 2 weeks, you'll be here.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Enti yemfansi na afi yenhwe de eno so okay my memfa wins yo come ya mistake back up. Happy birthday in Nkoma, the CEO of Everything Fresh Company Limited, Mariama Hamza. So may Allah bless you from Blockman and the entire family in Esu Yabua. Blockman, may we show well. It's one of our IT personalities. Oh, I shall party. Benede Kwabena Owusu Dankwa. Malam ya ena ashishe jumedi no ya di ebren. Yami adme nyumre democracy ebeba wakache. Yakramo sejulaka and the rest of the sports crew eba na afi omo edi sports no edi abremo. Yakramo. Bye bye.
Pause.